Hello and welcome to the table, conversations about Catholic education and catechesis. My name is Sebastian D'Amico, and I am here on behalf of the Holy Family School of Faith. And we wanted to take this moment, I wanted to take this moment and speak in a little bit to the current situation that parents um, find themselves in these days since the coronavirus has made us all homebound. We find ourselves um, facing a number of different situations, not the least of which is the fact that our kids are probably at home. And we're faced with the daunting task of not only keeping our lives going, whatever that looks like, keeping our jobs going, but also educating our kids. Uh, and this can be overwhelming for us. And I wanted to just take a moment and share a message of hope and share two short sentences from the Catechism of the Catholic Church to this effect. So, if you look at paragraph, I'm reading right here from this big honkin' green book, one of my favorites, 2000, paragraph 2221. The Catechism teaches that the role of parents in education is of such importance that it is almost impossible to provide an adequate substitute. The role of parents is of such importance that it's almost impossible to provide an adequate substitute. Do you guys remember going to school and having substitute teachers? Do you remember how we used to take advantage of those days? Right? At least I did. And because we knew in the back of our minds that this day was not going to be the same, it was virtually impossible for a substitute to take the place of the teacher. Well, the Catechism in the Church, God is saying there is a similar thing on the level of on being a parent. There is no substitute for you. You are the one that God has designated as the parent of your child, and as such, you are the primary educator, and that should fill us with great hope. Uh, you might be saying, Sebastian, that's what's terrifying me. And I'm here to say, no, 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 no. That's precisely why you should not despair. You see, because God's had you in mind to parent your children, and He wants to give you the grace. He's actually giving you the grace right now to do that job in the circumstances that you find yourself in. This is this is so important in these days that face us. Here's the second sentence. It follows right after that one. Same paragraph, 2221. The right and duty of parents to educate their children are primordial and inalienable. Primordial and inalienable. What does that mean? Primordial means prima in Latin. Prima means first, and ordine, order. The first in order. Or you might translate it, you're the first in line. All the other teachers are really playing second fiddle. They're playing second chair to you. And I can say that to us, to you, right? Because I myself am a parent and I'm also a teacher in our Catholic schools. We as educators are there to support what you do in at home. And that's what this is about. It's about this amazing partnership that we find ourselves in, that God has picked me first among all the rest to parent my children. And also, He's given me a series of secondary teachers, all my school teachers, all the school teachers that have been teaching my kids, that are now, to varying degrees, trying to find new ways of helping me in this process of education. But you are the primordial teacher. You're the first teacher of your kids. When they first opened their eyes, they started imitating you. And this was the delight of our parenthood, right? In those first days and years. And then maybe to our chagrin, right, when they start imitating the less savory parts of who we are, which they inevitably do, and they're such powerful um, examinations of our own conscience, right? I have many stories like that. And the other word that it says is that the rights of parents as educators is inalienable. Inalienable. In other words, no one can take them away from you. And I can't give them away either. I can't resign from this job, as much as I might like to sometimes, right? Because they don't come with manuals. And certainly the situation that faces us in this moment does not come with manual. But but in this moment, you must trust that you have what it takes to help your kids through this. And what's more, your kids have something to teach you as we face these unexpected days. I'd like to leave you with with whatever it is that you're facing with, and I know that what you're dealing with from an education standpoint is probably one of a laundry list of things that are on your mind. But I want to leave you three words that have spoken a lot of consolation to me in these days. They're the words of another Catholic educator. Her name was Sophia Cavalletti. She was the foundress of a form of catechesis called the Catechesis of the Good Shepherd. It's a beautiful form of teaching the faith to young children, from very early young to about 12. And she said that the teaching of the children must always be, and the teaching materials must always be poor, simple, and essential. Poor, simple, and essential. As a teacher, and as a modern person, really, this doesn't seem to. This is a message that we're not told very much, right? That the methods that we have to teach, they can be poor, they can be simple, and they can be the most essential. We need to realize that, God, when He had His plan for the human person, He designed the human person to grow in a family, and that He didn't design us with a manual, um, in which we would have to follow these techniques to educate. It really happened. It really happened by sharing life with our kids. And so, as you are pondering what to do with your job and your kids and lunch and afternoon and everything else that our world is now turned upside down with, I want you to consider what poor things, what simple things, what essential things, what's most essential, and think of your education in that. And then everything else becomes blessings beyond that. Your school teachers right now are working incredibly hard to give you the best they can from the distance that they are at. And for each one of us, that's going to probably look a little bit different. But remember, even if nothing came, you still have what it takes to parent your children. God chose you to parent them. And and then count all the blessings that He's given us on top of those things. If you would please, if you enjoyed this, share it with someone that you know. Hit the like button below, hit subscribe, and please join School of Faith as we pray the rosary together. If you're looking for a really simple way to bring faith and teach the faith to your kids, pray the rosary with us. If you go to dailyrosary.net, you can sign up for a daily dynamic rosary that comes to your email or your text message, and you can pray the rosary in a way that is will hopefully inspire you to greater conversation, deeper reflection, and greater relationship with the living God, who has allowed this moment to occur. For the Holy Family School of Faith and the School of Faith school team, this is Sebastian D'Amico signing off.